Good to see you. Apologies as well. Firstly, I actually set the video at the wrong time. I put the thumbnail on as 8 o'clock, which is what it's supposed to be, but for some reason, I set it for 7. Silly sod. So yeah, sorry for that. It'll be a little bit of a short one because obviously, in typical fashion, I've got to drive to the airport because I'm going on holiday at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I've got a few bits to do. I've decided that 365 days of the year I'm going to be fit and healthy as anything, and obviously now I'm coming down with something, so it's yeah, ridiculous. So what we'll be talking about anyway is reviewing obviously the Southampton game. We're gonna do at the end, which I forgot last week, our wanker of the week. We're gonna remember that this week, and I think it's a particular vile scumbag that we're all gonna agree on deserves it. Um, but yeah, let's sort of jump into the chat quick. Vic, yeah, apologies, mate. Yeah, I see that you had wrote them a little bit earlier at 7 o'clock. Yeah, it's fashionably late, I suppose, eh? Yeah, before I start off, I'll just jump in what you said, mate. Um, yeah, poor performance against another promoted team. Poor lineup from Lego Ed. Yeah, why do we play such slow, boring footy, then concede and then start running around? Listen, mate, like. I do. I totally agree with you. It's almost sort of like this team needs a wake up call. And do you know what the worrying thing was? That all right, look, we've came through both of the games, and I mean Leicester and the Southampton game, we've came through both of them with wins. Now it might you might also look at this as a positive thing because 2 seasons ago and even last season, it was these teams that we were dropping points at, and that's what's cost us the league. It wasn't our results at Manchester City and the Liverpools and the Man Uniteds and the Tottenhams and the Chelseas. It was these teams, but I tell you what, it's creeping in again, really, ain't it? And okay, yeah, you look on the face of what I just said, we could have drew or lost, and it was Southampton, wasn't it, 2 years ago? That 3-3 draw, and I'm fairly certain it was a 1-1 draw away from them as well. We went 1-0 up and then conceded a goal. I'm fairly sure. So yeah, that season, we only got 1 point out of 6, and they got relegated. Um, it's a little bit sort of worrying, ain't it? I don't think that we should against these particular teams as well. I don't think that we should be needing to go 1-0 down to sort of wake ourselves up. And let's get it right. I was saying it to the fella next to me. That first half, and we'll even include the first 55 minutes because it was a shower of shit, wasn't it? Really, from then. Um, that first half, I remember going out and getting a beer at half time, and I remember saying to my mate, I was like, it's not as if Southampton had defended for their lives, was it? You can almost sort of like put your hands up and go, do you know what? We peppered their goal, and yeah, they've just defended like crazy. They're having an absolute worldie. The keeper's having a worldie. It weren't, was it? We were just in first gear, second gear, and almost the same for them. It just seemed like no one really wanted to be there. Like a friendly, no one could be bothered to play. You know what I mean? So it's a little frustrating. But I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I'm obviously glad for the win, but yeah, man, yeah, it's a little bit sort of it's a bit frustrating that it's like that, isn't it, mate? We need to play fast from the get go and kill teams as fast as possible. But yet again, you get the feeling that style of play is boring. Mikel's he makes me angry every week. If honest, well, look, mate, yeah, I totally agree. And the only sort of thing that I think keeps fans like us, and our sort of heads from going off is the fact that while we're winning, and we're doing all right, maybe we can sort of hold our hands. But I totally agree with the style of play. Um, if and there was sort of a moment in was it Trossard, I think, right at the end. I can remember saying to my mate Cora 1-1, that there's at least sort of missed a chance or missed a chance to pass it through, or if he overhit a pass, I think, to Martinelli. I think if it was at 1-1, you'd be going mad, and it almost could have easily been, couldn't it? The game for the first half, for the first 55 minutes, almost stank, didn't it? Almost stank of, oh my god, this is just going to be one of them days. The football, yeah, it's not great. The lineup, let's talk about the lineup a little bit. So in fact, let me just go through the chat just quickly before I add it on. A says, Giza, how you doing, mate? Absolute pleasure. Mama, Superstar Geordie in the building. How are you doing, my dear? Oh yeah, yeah, Dad, yeah, trying to play the hero. Yeah, yeah, I reminded you. And I'll let you have that one, Papa. Tomb of Woeful tonight. Yeah, man. Yeah, what's going on? Up and down with up and down, isn't it? Really, I think with Newcastle this season, rocking over miles away. That's why I bought it, mate. The what's it? The Old Trafford goal. Exactly right. One of my favourite kits ever. There we go. Do you think it was an error, mate? All right, sorry, yeah, go on, yeah, just talking in between, yeah. All right, I'll tell you what, let's talk about the lineup, yeah, and then I'll come back to the chat again in a minute. Yeah, so the lineup on the face of it, right? I thought, do you know what? It wouldn't have been the lineup that I chose. I think playing Thomas Partey at right back was always just a bit of a recipe for disaster. I mean, I don't think he was great. I mean, he was awful. It was so. I can sort of semi-ish understand maybe why he done it. I know he had Tomiyasu on the bench, but the geezer he breaks down, doesn't he? I'm surprised he didn't break down with the 10 minutes that he had or 15 minutes that he had, Tomiyasu. So I can sort of maybe sort of see why he chose to play Party there as opposed to Tomiyasu just being thrown in straight away. Um, but yeah, that's just a bit of a crap thing to sort of have Thomas Partey there, isn't it? Really, I don't like it. He weren't good there last season when we, for whatever reason, decided to play him there. Um, and then Jorginho, I mean, wow, yeah. I mean, he's one of them probably players now, isn't he, Jorginho, where he'll probably come on and give you some good games once or twice, every now and then. But oh, he's gone and he's absolutely finished, the geezer. Um, I don't know why he started. I think you've got Ethan Ranieri sat on the bench. Why isn't he there? Maybe bring Declan Rice and put him in that six, and then just have even Ranieri. You expect in these sort of teams, when is he going to get minutes at home against Southampton, against the leakiest defence in the league? One of the shittest teams in the league. Let's get it right. If you're not going to give the kid a chance after he's banging in excellent cameo after cameo, then when are you going to give him his break? And in that first half, um, there was just no creativity, was there, in that midfield? Absolutely zero. And that's because the midfield consisted of a finished Jorginho, Declan Rice, which, to be fair, Declan Rice is the bollocks. He can play all right at at eight, but he's a six, isn't he? That's where his long-term position at Arsenal's going to be. Neither of them two strike assist king to you, really, do they? And then you've got Kai Havertz, the striker, at the other side, and you wonder why the midfield was just not creating or doing anything. When you've got a finished geezer, a player out of position, and a striker playing there. Um, and you're wondering why we're not creating proper good chances. So it's no real surprise really. I think that sort of that midfield that's more of the worrying thing than the Thomas Partey thing. If I'm being totally honest with you. Um, and then let's go straight to the forwards. I think Sterling. I can see why Mikel Arteta maybe wanted to start him. Because again, like the Nwaneri thing, these are probably the games where you think, yeah, this is why you're giving certain players a rest. This is why you brought him in. But he didn't really do anything to have his chance. And Jesus, man, let's give me some Saudi money, please. And in the beginning of January, he's got to go, isn't he? Like, I'm sorry, it's such a shame because when he first came, I thought, wow, he's absolutely fantastic. This Jesus, maybe he needed to just leave Man City to get the shackles off. Um, but he is just since these injuries and they've just piled up. He's just not the same geezer, is he? I think he's trying and making all the wrong decisions. Yeah, I'm sort of a little bit done with him if I'm being honest. I think we've outgrown him, haven't we? Which is a shame. But yeah, the starting lineup was a little bit bad for me. I'm actually quite glad that the substitutions came, and I think he was planning on doing them just after Southampton scored because Kai Havertz then scored 3 minutes later, didn't he? Um, I'm glad Mikel Arteta actually made a triple substitution straight away because typical Arteta, he'll make him on the 70th minute, but he actually got his arse in gear a little bit this time, which is quite good. Because usually I think is one of the worst in-game managers around there. I've said it plenty of times before, and I'll always sort of say it unless something changes. Yeah. I think what we're saying. Where you flying off to? Hope you have a nice relaxing time. Yeah, listen, man, I'm starting to feel a little bit crappy, so hopefully that sort of goes. But yeah, I'm taking the family to Portugal, mate, for 10 days. Uh, we've been going there for the last couple of years. I love it out there. I've been trying to learn the language over the last few sort of weeks. Stop and start a little bit, but I'll I'll be conversational. I reckon. Hopefully by next time when we go out there next year, that's sort of where I'm trying to get to. Um, but yeah, nah, thanks, mate. Yeah, and I'll enjoy it. While I'm out there, have you seen Jez is gonna he's doing sort of asking a few of his fellow YouTubers, Arsenal, some sort of about 15 questions. I think he's got just about your Arsenal, and I've got mine next Friday, and I'm going to be doing mine. I'm going to be doing mine out there. Um, we'll have a look, see how the internet is. I might have a little poolside one. Why not? If not, I'll go in the hotel room and have a little do it. But yeah, make sure you tune in for that. And on the note for Jez, um, if you watch it on the way back today in the post, I received a little gift from my mate Jezza at Arsenal History and More. You all know, and he got it for my daughter, a little gift. So yeah, I arrived today. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate it greatly. Sterling dived fell over twice in the first 6 minutes and lost the ball for the Saints goal. Seriously, can we cancel his loan? I'm not even kidding. Yeah, he ain't really started too great, is he? To be fair, um, I know he had an all right game against Bolton in League One. I mean, come on, that can't be his level, surely. Um, we're talking obviously about a player on a decline. And what makes you laugh is when he first signed, he's like, "Oh, you ain't seen the best of me yet." I'm like, "Mate, like if this is what you're talking about, then Jesus Christ." I mean, it's absolutely bad. It's absolutely shocking if this is what we were waiting to see. Um, Raheem Sterling, we hope it works. Look, because if he plays well, Raheem Sterling, it means that Arsenal have more chance of picking up points or getting through around or whatever. So I hope every single one of the players that are wearing that Arsenal shirt does well. Obviously, I just I didn't sign up to wanting him. I think when as soon as that Maresca said that he was done at Chelsea, I knew that he was coming to Arsenal. My gut dropped straight away. As a player I've never liked, um, and even though he wears the Arsenal shirt, obviously I want him to do well. But I can't prescribe to liking him if I'm being totally honest. Um, Let me just jump in. Yeah, Jez, mate. I forgot to mention that. I know it actually is for my daughter. Apologies, and it was even addressed to her, which is quite cool. I looked at the my missus took it in earlier while I was coming back from Arsenal, and I'd seen it was addressed to Myla. So yeah. Sorry for trying to steal her cup. I quite like it. Um, but yeah, no. Cheers, mate. Yeah, I'd actually totally forgot to say it. Mama, oh, cheers, man. Yeah. I do hope so. Yeah, I do hope so, my girl. Now, what we saying? Only 3 goals. Hammer's got 4 against the promoted team. You love it, didn't you? By the way, while on holiday, I'll drink the beers in your fridge. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, mate, I've changed the locks. Um. So yeah. I mean, good luck with that. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's Jez. Yeah. Godfather Jez up. Love a bit of Jez. As I said a second ago, yeah, make sure you watch all his YouTube videos. Basically, doing 15 questions to all the Arsenal YouTubers. That'd be excellent. I'm looking forward to. Oh, well, I've already watched Jez's one already. I'm looking forward to watching everyone else's, and mine, as I said, will be in Portugal on the Friday. Buzzing for that. Great idea. Yeah, big up Jez. That. Yeah. So let's talk about just the game as a whole. Um, we've got we've got what we on seven games in, 5 wins, 2 draws. On the face of it, it's not a bad start to the season, considering the teams that we've played. Away at Man City, we've got that out. That's done. Away at Spurs, throughout the years, Spurs, you'd think, and we've had for the vast majority of the time that I've been watching Arsenal, a better team than Spurs. But even sometimes, the likes of the Thierry Henrys and the Bergkamps and that, there'd always be a 1-1 draw at White Hart Lane. Quite a lot of them. They were always been tough matches. So to get another win there against them lot was fantastic. Um, we've played some good teams, and the points that we've got, it's just a shame that I can always sort of take a draw at Man City, but what's difficult is the Brighton one. It's really stuck with me. It's stuck with me in my head. That one, we should be on top of the league right now, but look, we're not, and we're getting wins, and that's absolutely good. But let's not mask today, and it's got to be called out, hasn't it? The performance was shit. It was crap. And listen, Jez, if you're still in the chat, I don't know whether you'll agree with me or not, whether you'll like what I'm about to say, or whether anyone will. But um, it was that crap. When we actually equalised, I didn't even celebrate or anything like that. I just thought to myself, and it's not something I've ever done in the Emirates. I've done it at home watching it. Um, But when we got our equaliser, which was sort of straight after, and maybe that's sort of what done it because it was so close. I thought I just come to me as I ain't celebrating it, drawing 1-1 in this game to Southampton, and I didn't. I just sat there like that, just like nothing had happened. Um, just almost to demonstrate I ain't happy with this. Like this is crap. Um, and it was absolutely crap. Um, I've seen some sort of channels, and I've been trying to watch as much as I can. Some mainly driving home, and but there's people that are buzzing with it. I mean, 3-1, just like the 4-2, sort of masked. The fact that you're playing two promoted teams, two of the worst promoted teams. Pardon me. And and what are we even doing here? Like we should be today. I thought 5-0. But the Arsenal always have that tendency, don't they, to make it a little difficult for themselves. And I just thought, yeah, well, it wouldn't surprise me if 1-0 down. But if that was going to happen, I thought it was going to be a silliness in the first 5 or 10 minutes or something, and then we absolutely come back and start hammering them. But to the fact that it was 0-0 at half time, I mean, come on. I mean, come on. That's shocking, ain't it, people? That is absolutely shocking. And 55 minutes when we conceded that goal, I just in my head I was like, oh, I ain't getting it. I ain't standing up and clapping this. No way. Not clawing our way back into the game at home to Southampton, the shittest team in the league. I ain't standing up and shouting and clapping my hands. Like, no way. I'll sit down. I'll get up and stand and have a little clap for the next one. I ain't done all right. This is crap. Um, let me know in the chat if you think it was maybe a little bit harsh, or whether you sort of can see where I'm coming from. I'm interested to know. Um, I just didn't. I couldn't be bothered. But yeah, like the game, we'd got that goal, wouldn't it? And then wow, we decided to wake up. And just like what Vic said, the first comment that I read, um, yeah, at last, it takes us what concede a goal. We're playing such slow tempo football. It's painful at times to watch. Especially if it's 0-0 at half times, I can understand like the PSG game, say for argument's sake, we come out the traps 2-0 first half, bang, there you go. I can understand it. Them teams where you think, you know what, the second half maybe we will slow it down a little bit. PSG were there for the taking, absolutely there for the taking. But I can sort of understand to a certain degree. While we just thought, do you know what? This is a nice tidy win, 2-0. Yeah, we'll shut these lot out. But why are we playing like that in the first half and 10 minutes of the second half until we can see the bloody goal against Southampton, the shittest team in the league, to do that? It's a real sort of frustration. Gabriel Jesus, yeah, let's get back onto him. Um, because I see Aces in the comment. It's one of the things I wanted to talk about again. Man, he's done. He's not been good. Now, let's say last season, all I can remember, there's one moment that I can remember about Gabriel Jesus, probably because it's the only thing that he done that season, was the Sevilla away, that control, and then the pass to Martinelli, and did he score maybe, I think, as well? I'm not too sure. But that's that. I can't remember anything else. And this season, I mean, I think he was injured a little bit at the start, obviously, and he's just not done anything. I mean, he's making the wrong decisions all the time, literally all the time. He's decided he's going to be selfish, but if you're going to be selfish, that's fine. Like Haaland, be clinical. And let's face it, even Jesus says, "Oh, he's not clinical. He's not a goal scorer." His own words. Madness, that is. What's the point in having the number 9 on your back? Give him something in the 20s or something. Give him number 17 or no, someone else. Just give him another number. What's the point of a 9 on there? It's ridiculous. Oh, absolutely ridiculous. He's done. He is. I think if we could get a nice bid in, I think Gabriel Jesus must sort of know as well that his Arsenal career is sort of coming to an end. It's got to be one of them things with Jesus, saying it that if we leave it until the summer, I think we'll struggle to sell him. I mean, what's his valuation? He still have what, 2 years left on his deal? 2 years, 20, 30 million. Is that being generous? I don't know, but I mean, absolutely nothing more than 30 million. I mean, nothing more. I can't see how. Um, I think in that sort of bracket, if I'm being honest. Um, but I'd love if we could get some of that sweet, sweet Saudi money. Um, get someone, just make a little bid for him, however much. We don't have to give us astronomical dough for him, but 30 odd million, that'd be absolutely lovely. Go to Saudi, take his wages off the bill, get it on Gyökeres. Got a release clause still. That's going to be the difference between us challenging for the league and winning the league. Get Jesus out, get Gyökeres in, give him the number 9 shirt. I'd even go straight to as much as sort of saying, try and get Gabriel Jesus out during that window, but get Gyökeres straight in. And I've said it before on stream. As soon as that clock ticks 1 second past 23:59, and it goes to 00:00 on the 1st of the 1st, 2025, pay that release clause. Don't give another club any opportunity to sign Gyökeres, because he's having another banger again. He's going to have more suitors this time because he's proven that it wasn't just a one season wonder. He's getting them numbers again, and now he'll have more clubs on alert. The second that ticks in that window, pay it. Done. There you go. Just get it out there and then concentrate on getting Jesus out. Let's not have another transfer window where, like this one, we had to sell Emile Smith Rowe to get in Calafiori, where we had to sell Eddie Nketiah to get in Mikel Mourinho. Let's not do that. Why don't we just go on the front foot? That man would be the difference 100% between us challenging for the league and winning the league. And I reckon Man City fans, I reckon they know it. If Arsenal signed early doors in that window, Victor Gyökeres, I reckon that league, I think every other team in that league will go, oh wow, oh yeah, wow, Arsenal, yeah, right, they are meaning business now. What do you think? Like, I reckon there's your difference. Go and do it. I know it's 80 odd million quid, but you know what? You need to take risks. Sometimes you need to roll the dice. You can't always be calculated and measured on everything. Sometimes you just need to. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, you've got then old rounders go, well, it's one of them signings where they just thought, you know what? it seemed like the right sign at the time, and it didn't work out. I actually wouldn't whinge and call it a flop. You know, if it was the flop, you'd call it a flop. But I'd understand still why they had to make that decision. Um, that's what you sort of want to see. This Gabriel Jesus is. I'm sorry. He is not winning us the league. He just isn't. He's not even winning us the league as a squad player coming on like this. He's declining like our man Sterling. The squad won't be winning trophies this season. Look, mate, it's it's obviously a little bit sort of too early to say, but I mean I can pretty much you can all pretty much guarantee that we won't be winning the Champions League this season. You know, it's a very difficult competition for us because we haven't ever won it. And I think there are still better teams, more experienced teams in Europe to the point. I reckon to win that competition, we'd have to be very lucky in the draw. Um, very lucky in the draw, get the right side, and moments go our way. Premier League, it's a marathon, isn't it? Who sort of knows? But you still wouldn't be putting as favourites, so I can understand where you are there. It's all about what you're saying is if we throw away the cups or not, isn't it, mate? Um, that's there are sort of like bankers, and I hope we don't. Um, we've got Preston North End in the next game, haven't we? In the Carling Cup, Carabao Cup, sorry, whatever it is. Um, you'd think you'd have a good opportunity to rest sort of players. Um, I reckon to win that cup, we're going to need almost some Manchester United esque sort of luck of the draw. Do you remember when they won it 2 years ago? I don't think they played. Didn't they? I don't think they played a team in the Premier League up until the final or something like that, did they? Um, and I actually think that that's what this sort of team would need. Otherwise, Mikel Arteta's going to throw it away. Win the FA Cup. Well, since he won it, we've actually only won 2 games of the 4 seasons. So I can sort of understand that you'd naturally be a little bit pessimistic about winning that. But I mean, it hasn't sort of started yet, so who knows? But they're obviously the two where you think if Arsenal were going to lift silverware, you'd have thought that naturally would be the way we'll sort of do it. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see, I suppose, really, mate. Jezza, big up, mate. First half was shocking. Yeah. Listen, that's sort of what I was saying. It was so poor. It was 55 minutes of absolutely forgettable football. Forgettable. That you're not even going to get back, are you? And to be fair, until we actually scored the 2-1, Martinelli, it was pretty much 70 minutes of crap, wasn't it? Uh, very frustrating, mate. Lose the league in January if you don't buy a striker to assist Saka, Dad. Yeah, listen, mate. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree, mate. We need upgrades now on what we've got. And Gabriel Jesus, and we've known this for a long time. So we need a striker. We need to stop signing players that pretend to be strikers and actually sign fucking striker. Vic. I even see a few empty seats before the game ended, Aaron. Is that a sign that the real Guna fans are not impressed today? Yeah, there's a lot of empty seats. Yeah, a lot of them. For me, yet again, a boring game. I'm saying that for many games now. Yeah, the only way he's been getting away with it, Vic, as I sort of said, mate, is sort of the fact that we're winning games and doing all right. We're not top of the league, but considering the teams that we've had to face at the start of these 7 games, it's not that bad. Um, what really sort of will sort of start to turn, and especially when we went 1-0 down, and almost you can even include the 2-0 up and then the 2-2 with Leicester. It's not far away from a little turn, and by that I mean if one of these games, say one of them 2 games, the last 2 I mentioned, to end up in a draw, then now we're all starting to go, yeah, listen, mate, like now this brand of football is costing us costing us points against promoted teams. We're getting away with it a little bit, ain't we? 100%. For no management tactics, especially not in-game tactics, mate. The in-game tactics are absolutely poor, mate. Absolutely poor. I've said it plenty of times. I 100% agree with you. Mikel had no clue. He looked so rattled in his press conference after. I haven't seen that. I'll have to give it a watch. It's not man for me. Sorry. Yeah, I'll have to give that a watch. Yeah, I've been driving in the van, getting back from the stadium. I had to do a couple of little bits, so I haven't really sort of seen any post-match stuff. Um, but yeah, his in-game tactics are probably the worst in the Premier League. Something he has to improve on massively quickly. Mikel Arteta, big up, fella. How you doing, mate? Give this guy a sub, a good Matata. Good to see you, mate. Good to give you the pop over. Yeah, mate. Big up. And more money into. Yeah. Listen, this is obviously the worry about this sort of affording, being able to afford things because of the PSR or whatever. But I mean, come on, man. What I can't understand is, I can't understand why in the last year or so we've got a better deal from Adidas, we've got a better deal from Fly Emirates, we've got sponsorship for the training ground, the Sober Realty, on our books, the UEFA Europa League, sorry, them seasons and the seasons where we weren't even in Europe, they're off now, and now you've got 2 seasons of Champions League money, and obviously then into the finances, add that money. This summer we made a profit. Where's the fucking money? Like, where is the fucking money? Where's that gone? Like, how have we got no money to spend? Like, it's ridiculous. There's got to be something. There's got to be a way to do it. If Chelsea can find a bloody way, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Find some loopholes then, like what they're doing. I don't care. You know, find the loopholes that they do and go get me Victor Gyökeres. Hats off to you. Yeah, she's a girl, mate. She's a proper girl. Yeah, yeah. No, yeah. I knew you meant yeah. So yeah. That's a worrying thing, mate. But I hope so, bud. I hope he does, mate. We need it. Still not sold on King Kai yet, Lee, mate. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still not. Yeah, I don't really. I don't really. I don't really like his song either. It drives me mad. Um, I I think I think he might slowly, sort of. I might slowly start to like him a bit more. I'll get my words out eventually. Yeah, don't worry. I might slowly start to sort of like him if he carries on. Fair dues to the geezer as well, by the way. He's actually equal to Thierry Henry's 7 games scored in a row record today. I mean, absolutely fair dues to the geezer. I mean, that to be in that sort of company I mean, it's pretty good. But let's face it, it's a record that I suppose anyone can really get if Kai Havertz has got it. But I mean, I suppose fair dues to him. He's still not. I wouldn't mind him as a squad because I like that he's a bastard. I do, and I appreciate that squads need some players like that. You do need a bit of a bastard, and Kai Havertz is a bastard. He's just not a starting lineup bastard. Yep, big up. I got a week. We'll get to that because I'm gonna wrap it up shortly because I haven't even started packing anything yet. Because then I've got to drive to Gatwick in what's it about? I don't know, about 4 or 5 hours or something like that. I think 5 hours. Yeah, I ain't even started. I'm so far behind. It's unbelievable. Well, I will get to that very soon. Um, while Mikel has his favourite kind, I don't see him buying a striker. Yeah, I know. Yeah. These are good points. The striker so badly. Just don't see them doing it now. That Mikel is in love with Kai. Yeah, he's fucking giddy for him, isn't he, mate? He's not good enough to win us the Prem. Yeah. He's like I said, he's good for a squad, and he's good for them squad players. But yeah, not that level that we need. And do you know how you answer that question? Um, when Jesus left and we signed him, and they signed Haaland. If they didn't sign Haaland, would they have signed Man City? Have signed Havertz? No. If Haaland leaves tomorrow, in the summer, would they look at Havertz as a viable replacement? No. And on that note, there you go, isn't it? Oh, Kira says hi. Oh, bless you. Hello, my dear. Hope you're behaving for Dad. If you had a choice in what's available when it comes to managers, who would you choose? Do you know what? The Real Madrid fans, they are absolutely incensed with Don Carlo at the minute. If he was to ever become available, get him. That's that. Get him. Um, and he might be available. I mean, if Mikel Arteta doesn't win anything, no silver, no job. That's that. No silverware, no job. Get out. And it might sort of half work in our favour because if he does sort of part ways with Real Madrid at the end of the year, hopefully, um, he sort of stays unavailable, maybe gives himself a couple of months break or whatever. And we won't do it obviously because we won't do what needs to be done. But if it was me, get out. Yeah, get out. There you go. No, you've had 5 seasons now. You can't do it. You've got us to a certain position. Fair enough. But you're not the geezer that gets us over the line. And we will absolutely know that as a fact come May, wouldn't we? But we sort of, and that's for this season. We know it for a fact because he hasn't done it in the last few seasons. Um, just quickly before I do get to wank of the week and close up, there's something that actually I wanted to say as well, and it's fucking embarrassing. Um, on the 90th or so minute, for about 3 or 4 minutes long, Arsenal were singing the Aaron Ramsdale song consecutively, and I thought, do you know what? How can you do that? All right, Raya didn't have his best game today, yeah. Um, and he didn't. He was a little bit flappy, wasn't he? But he's been fantastic for us this season, and he's our number one now. He's at our club, and everyone was, you haven't even got a song for David Raya, and you're singing, in the North Bank and around the stadium, you're singing Aaron Ramsdale, da, 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 and England's number one. I mean, come on, people, man. I couldn't believe it when I sat there. I was like, "Do you know what? That's a fucking new low. That is. That is such a new low for fans that they were singing Aaron Ramsdale songs. That's fine if you like him. Like I thought he was all right. He wasn't what we needed. We've upgraded. It is what it is. That's business. But come on, man, have some flipping shame for crying out loud. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't play for us anymore. We've got a better keeper. You haven't even got a song for David Raya. How can you sing for 3 or 4 minutes consecutively the Aaron Ramsdale song? Come on, it's embarrassing all the fans, and there was a lot of them. There was a lot of fans that were singing that song, stadium round. Poor, absolutely poor. That was shocking. Right, Rossi, how you doing, my man? Good to see you, bud. We also have free kits that cost silly money and new merch out every week. It seems. I know, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think I said it 2 weeks ago or something like that. I'll give them actually the wank of the week, their PR team for doing it. And then this week again, there's more. Like I think there was a jacket on there that was like 350 quid or something like that. It's like I would rather be beaten with 350 quid's worth of my own pennies than pay for that jacket. Absolute shit show, isn't it? What's going on? The like if you haven't done already, yeah. Cheers, man. Yeah, I always forget to say it, Carl. If I'm being honest. Oh, you serious, Aaron? Honestly, that's embarrassing. The player is gone, Carl. Mate, I promise you, I couldn't believe it. And it wasn't just one song, mate. Do you know what? The stadium was poor today. Yeah, it was actually the most consecutive song throughout the whole of the game, mate. I shit you not. I'm not over exaggerating one little bit. From that injury time, it lasted for about a good 3 or 4 minutes. Aaron Ramsdale, England's number one, round the whole stadium. Like what must have like Raya? Like, I mean, to be fair, he seems to not have lapses of concentration like Ramsdale did. So he probably being down there, I don't know, we might not have heard it, but I mean, yeah, Carl is poor, mate. If you watch it probably won't be on it. You have to catch it, but if you ever watch highlights or maybe match of the day, um, maybe sort of see if you can listen out for it or something like that. Or yeah, it's no good, mate. Absolutely no good. That yeah, evening, mama. Yeah, channeling rather the little atmosphere we have towards a player who achieves 0 trophies currently playing for the opposition. Make it make sense. I wish I had that sort of the brain cells that I could have to think how people like the majority of that stadium think. I just don't possess it. Uh, I've no idea why everyone just decided that that's what they'd sing. Do you know what? Like I said, if you like Aaron Ramsdale or whatever, or you know he's a fan favorite or whatever, blah, that's fine. Don't sing a song for him, and you got your own keeper. You ain't even sang a song for that geezer. That's a fucking piss take. That's a piss take, isn't it? I'm sorry, that's not for me, man. That's not for me. I sat there and I just thought to myself, what's Ray think here? Why no one's singing for him? He's been fantastic for us this season. Absolutely fantastic. And they're singing songs about Aaron. Come on, man. No good. We could hear it live on the match. Yeah, the fans singing a Ramsdale song. How would that make Ray feel? Madness. Madness, mate. It's absolute madness, absolute madness. But right, I'm gonna come to a close. Um, like I said, I've got quite a little bit to do. To be fair, but one thing I did want to finish on, and obviously that's this week. I have been looking forward to giving this one out because this particular piece of shit, um, he could easily win it every single week, and you probably will get it numerous amounts of times as well. I was meant to do it last week, but I absolutely forgot. But this is to a not even a man, uh, to a person. His name is Keir Starmer. Yeah, I can't stand him. And the very fact that he comes to the Emirates makes my fucking skin crawl. He absolutely he makes my skin crawl. And he's a sir. The geezer's a sir. He steals money off of pensioners. That's what he does. Refusing the winter fuel tax, where our older generation are struggling anyway. You greedy little parasite. You're not a knight. How have you got Sir? How have you been knighted? You're not a knight. You're an absolute parasite. You, we don't want you at Arsenal games. You don't represent a proper Arsenal fan. You're a piece of shit. I cannot stand you. Stay away from that stadium. And unfortunately, I'd say stay away from our fucking country. But somehow you lead it. You disgusting vermin. You piece of shit. You are the wanker of the week. But let's face it, you're just a wanker in absolute general. You fucking cretin. Stay away from the Emirates. I don't want to be associated with you in any way by even supporting the same football club. Stay away. We do not want you there, you robbing, thieving, vile, greedy pig. Stop robbing and stealing off of pensioners, you scumbag. Absolute scumbag. Sorry, but it had to be said. He's a piece of shit, that bloke. I'll just come do these last few bits in the chat, and then we'll be out of it. But yeah, sorry, I can't stand that bloke. The fact that he supports Arsenal, scumbag. Have a nice holiday, Aaron, and get well soon. For me, the wank of the week is Mikel. Yeah. Look, there's a couple of there's a couple of selections this week, and yeah, I totally get you, mate. He's the wanker of the millennium. Yeah, listen, man, especially if you don't win anything this season, man. Yeah, he's might have to do sort of like a roundup sort of thing at the end of the season as wanker of the year or something like that. So yeah, stay sorry, stay tuned for that. By the way, I can't spell it right, but Sacana means wanker in Portuguese. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, cheers. Yeah, I'll have to fact check you father, and not you're not sort of swearing at me then in some little way that you do. I prefer not to speak about what should have happened to him coming to the stadium filled with common people. Yeah, yeah. I totally get you, my man. Yeah, Geezer's a pig, absolute pig. Yeah, your audacity. Yeah, Dad, totally agree. I would have thought anyway that you'd have all totally agreed with that one because that bloke, yeah, he's a piece of shit. But listen, I'm gonna actually wrap it up now. Thank you very much as always for tuning in the chat, having a little chat. I love it. Seeing the faces, you know, that I interact with all the time. It's absolutely fantastic. Dad, thanks for popping in. Lee, thanks for popping as well. Yeah, it's a 3-1 win at the end of the day. It's another 3 points, ain't it? But if we're gonna if we're gonna actually do something in this league, then we're not always going to get away with these last two games, are we? Against promoted teams as well. You know, when you're going to play the likes of the mid-table teams like the Chelseas, mid-table, even though they're doing all right this season. You know, them sort of teams, they might catch you out properly. But yeah, we'll yeah, take care, mate. We will leave it there. It's another win at the end of the day, and boom, take care.